Hello number ones, welcome back to my channel. This is the Metatron speaking, and as usual we're back with our new dose of nonsense. Absolute complete utter nonsense. So what happened? I'm sure you heard of it because it's all over the place, but Asmongold got banned on Twitch. Now, you might be asking at this point, oh gee, what did he say? And if that's the question you're asking, then you're out of the loop, my friend, because of course he said nothing. Obviously he said nothing that would have warned a, I believe, 1 week ban, but this is the reality right now. Now, obviously, there are several creators that have already responded to this, both on X and on YouTube. Clearly, Tectone spoke about it, but there was one that Global Fly Guy was saying, yet Twitch and Twitch support allows this terrorist supporter to spew shit all day, every day, which is absolutely fair. That's true. Because let's remember here, even actor Kevin Sorbo, who's based, by the way, said Hassan Piker, Kill these fuck, the fact that I can't even speak. Goodness gracious. Yeah, let the streets soak in their red capitalist blood. He did this, yeah. Hassan Piker did direct calls for violence, still there. So what did Asmongold say? What is the basis of this? How about we let the man defend himself? Asmongold. I want to hear it directly from him. We are so sick of these double standards. It's unbelievable. Why I got banned on Twitch 22 hours ago. Let's go.
Guys, I got suspended on Twitch in the middle of my Crimson Desert playthrough. I don't know what I'm gonna be able to do. It's gonna be an entire week. I mean, geez, guys. I'm gonna have so much free time. Well, I guess I could start by making this video, right? So, yeah. I got suspended last night on Twitch. I end my stream, and I come back from the gas station, and I get a message, and somebody says, why can't I chat in your stream? And I'm like, well, I don't know what happened. And I look, and I get a message, and it says that my account has been suspended for 7 days because of hateful conduct.
Hateful conduct. That makes me want to scream. That makes me want to scream. All right, what is the hateful conduct, you ask? Doesn't matter at this point, because whatever it was, we'll see it, we'll let him speak, we'll review it, we'll analyze it. But whatever it was, is it ever going to be less than laughing at Charlie Kirk's death like Mizkiff did, and that only gave him, like, what, 3 days ban? Is it going to be less than Hassan Piker specifically doing direct calls for violence? So, but that's not hateful because it's okay. As long as you agree with Twitch's CEO's politics, then whatever you say is justified as long as it's one directional. That's the world we live in.
So this is what I did. This is what I said. I said that I didn't give a about the opinions of third worlders, and then particularly in the thing that they referenced, I was referring to illiterate goat herders from Afghanistan.
Again, the way this looks out in the public is not a United States.
The opinions of third worlders don't matter. Like, I don't care what some illiterate goat herder thinks in Afghanistan.
Let me know if you understand Twitch's terms of service, but the problem here is, let's say that someone is an illiterate goat herder, and he calls them illiterate goat herders. That's a representation of reality. Being illiterate means they can't read and write. And besides, all social media platforms are okay with me and him being called literal Nazis and racists and all the other stuff that they tell us. Those are fine because they're against people of a different worldview than the CEO. I swear. It's the injustice. It's the injustice
of those people believing AI-generated videos about Iran winning the war and nuking Israel off the map.
If you think as a platform, well, no, for us this is hateful because we want zero hate, then you have to apply that consistently. They never do. Someone on the right and someone on the center can literally say this level, like tier 2 hate, and that's sufficient for bans. But someone on the radical left, the extreme left, they can say something that would in theory qualify as 10 out of 10 hate. They get a pass. It's impossible to accept. Then either treat everyone equally, and you cannot say anything hateful ever. Not my favorite choice, but again, terms of service are a private corporation's decisions. It's not like you can't really say freedom of speech to that because it's not government intervention. And then if you don't like the terms of services, you can move to another platform. That's not what we are complaining about. I wouldn't like that, but if that's how they want to do it and completely sanitize anyone, center, left, and right, freaking do it. Or you just let people say whatever they want and only block the direct calls to violence. I would prefer that, in fact. And then, fine, that's it. Minimum hateful conduct. I can't stand it, guys. I cannot stand it. Why are you not subscribed? What do you need me to do? Dress up like Vega to get you to subscribe? Subscribe.
Gentlemen, I would like to confirm that I am 100% right, and you don't either. And neither do they, because if Twitch cares about their opinions, why don't they apply Afghanistan's opinions to women on Twitch?
Absolutely. Very strong point. Very strong point. These are the freaking Taliban we're talking about. Oh my gosh. What clown world? It's got to be a simulation. This has to be a simulation.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it? But everybody knows nobody gives a about them. Nobody cares. I'm not sorry. I'm right. I said nothing wrong.
Good, man. That's what a man does. Never apologize to the mob. Let's go.
And nothing I said was against the terms of service. Beyond that, do you even imagine a world where somebody that says that they don't care about what a fat American thinks about the Middle East, can you imagine that this person ever gets suspended?
They call people here Nazis and fascists and PDF files accusations, including this man receiving one. Nothing ever happens.
Of course not.
He has some woke qualities, but he's nowhere near as woke as Francis. Francis was a socialist. This motherfucker is an American. And I think Americans are gross.
See? And he gets away with it. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Asmongold, for showing this nonsense. Golden Boy here, one of the most toxic individuals on this planet. A literal... At this point, I'm going to stop my thought there, and I'm going to let you know what I was going to say. Anyways, I'd like to underline, when I showed a clip of him and his calls to violence, I got demonetized and I had to censor it. Let that sink in. He can say whatever he wants on any platform. Anything. Nothing ever happens to him. He's got millions. If we repeat the same stuff he says and show them on screen from his mouth to call him out, we get demonetized.
Americans do not have a understanding of the world.
Americans.
Americifying anything is going to be bad. Americans have a very limited understanding of the universe.
Yeah, Americans have limited understanding of the universe. Also, he said America deserved 9/11. Do remember that. Twitch is perfectly fine with that. At this point,
And so why am I getting suspended? It's more third worldist morality logic inversion that basically is being used to silence me for an entire week. That's the important part that I want to talk about here. It's because basically Twitch has a system where they say that your infractions or your bad actions expire within 1 year. Well, the last time I was suspended, well, we all remember the last time I was suspended, but that was in October 2024. I have not been suspended for over an entire year. Why does that matter? Well, it matters because they say it matters. It matters because they say that's whenever the infractions expire and your account is treated as not being in bad standing. So why is it in that case that instead of getting a warning, instead of getting a suspension, instead of getting for a day, instead of getting a suspension for 3 days, I immediately went from that all the way to a 7-day suspension.
Unbelievable.
Immediately. Why would this happen? What is the reason for it? I have no idea. Is it because they don't like what I'm saying? It has to be, because it's certainly not because what I'm saying is against the terms of service. I looked at the terms of service. Yes, using nationality is a protected group.
And I think Americans are gross.
But I was not talking about them being disregarded because of nationality. I was talking about them being disregarded because of the fact that they're watching literal AI-generated videos and then believing a false narrative. And the video's context was about, would you rather be having likes on Twitter or having your entire Navy not destroyed?
Do you think that the Iranians would rather have their entire Navy back or their memes?
Jeez, guys, I wonder. And so anyway, this is what's happened, is that I have been suspended for an entire week for that. That's it. And I'll play the clip for you guys, okay? And this is, by the way, there's not a 100% certainty with this, that this is the clip, but this is the thing that they quoted from, and it's the thing that they gave me an example of. And I will say also, by the way, my contacts and relationship with Twitch on an interpersonal level has been nothing but tremendous. I have great respect for the people that I've dealt with Twitch. I have no actual...
It's the big bosses. It's the big boss. I hope he goes somewhere else and someone new comes in and who has a fair way of treating creators on the platform that make them enormous amounts of money and popularity, because regardless of whether or not a channel is monetized, that doesn't even matter, because when you're popular, you draw people in, and as people are in, then they start watching other people. It really doesn't matter. It is what it is.
Animosity towards those people. So just make sure that you guys understand that. Don't shoot the messenger or anything like that. It's the moderation team and the people that decided that I did something wrong. And maybe they made a mistake. Well, I know they made a mistake, but maybe they'll recognize that. And
It's not a mistake, brother. I know you know it. I know you know. He's being very reasonable, as always. Very fair, very reasonable. I don't even know. Probably he's so used to all of this nonsense that he manages to maintain a level of calm that I don't think I could. Maybe also because I'm Italian. I don't know what it is. It's, it's the diluted pizza blood that boils. He's being fair, but this is no mistake. A mistake required. A mistake this is malicious. This is malicious. It's not a mistake.
Get it unbanned early. And if they didn't, I guess, well, I mean, and here's the annoying thing, right? Is like, well, if Trump nukes Iran, which seems like that's getting more likely every day, then I'm going to have to go live on I'll just go live on Kick and Rumble, right? Maybe on YouTube too. I prefer just to do Kick and Rumble. It's a copyright thing, right?
Yeah, sure.
It's a confusing.
You remember that thing that Professor Dave said I was making up when I said, hey, I was watching his section about Flint Dibble and Graham Hancock, but I didn't want to get copy claimed on YouTube. Everyone says it. That guy does zero research, so he doesn't know anything. As always. You see, even a giant like Asmongold says, yeah, no, you know what, I'm not going to watch the news, I'm not going to watch this, I'm not going to watch that, I'm not going to review the scene from this trailer, because YouTube copy claims a lot more and a lot more often during live streams than the other platforms. I'm on the green platform too, by the way. There is a link in the description. What are you waiting for? It's there. Click it now.
Content creator reason, but like, and then we'll continue uploading videos. And if something big happens, don't worry, I'll be there, and you'll have a way to watch me, and it'll be all back to usual. But I would like to take
also, Trump is not nuking Iran.
At least a little bit of time, and like maybe fix a little bit of things in my life and just relax a little bit. But if something big happens, do not worry, I will be there, and I might make a couple of other videos in the meantime, just because I'll be bored. But going back to what I was saying is that I have been suspended for this, and really. Let me talk about, like, really how I feel about this. Do I give a fuck about the opinions of a bunch of third worlders in regards to what my country should do? Absolutely fucking not. I do not. I do not. You shouldn't. They shouldn't give a fuck about what I think about their country.
Yeah, true.
Because why would I take somebody's opinion that is from a shithole in these countries? And by the way, these are shitholes. Many of these countries are shitholes. And don't let anybody teach you or tell you that, oh, it's America's fault. No, it's not. The ones that America has invaded are shitholes. The ones that America hasn't invaded or Britain hasn't invaded, they're shitholes too. They're shitholes because the people made them shitholes. And whenever I talk about...
And the theocratic regimes.
Third worlders and third worldism, I'm not even really talking about a geography, I'm talking about an ideology. And that ideology is the idea that disrespect should be met with violence, the idea that, crime, dysfunction, discord, and chaos in society should be expected. They're part and parcel of living in a modern city, and having people, oh, well...
If you appreciate my content so far and wish to help ensure my ability to continue to tell it how it is, regardless of any possible backlash, please support this channel on Patreon. Any support helps me and my team of academics keep the channel strong and gives us the means to fight back against the political rewriting of history.
you can't say certain things because they might offend people, or they'll make them mad. The idea that getting angry about something is a justification to break the law.
Yeah.
This is what I'm really talking about with third worldism. Things that the Greek Senate, or the Greeks, the Romans, we figured this out in Western society, in Western culture. We've realized that you can't run a society whenever you have people that act this way. And it's actually a good thing to not have a bunch of crazy fent zombies on the street. It's actually a good thing to have people that aren't living on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
It's actually a good thing to have a, civilized discussion that doesn't resort to violence whenever you hear something that makes you angry. But
Absolutely.
for some people, this is the third worldist mindset. It is the aggrandizement of the base interests, the base desires, and the lowest common denominator of mankind. And you know what? I don't like it. I don't want it here. And guess
Absolutely.
what? They don't either. If Twitch thinks Afghanistan has such great opinions that should be listened to, maybe they should apply Afghanistan's opinions to women on Twitch.
Women or gay people. How about that?
How about that? But they won't, because they also agree with me too. I just was the one that said it. But everybody thinks this.
True.
And I have nothing, by the way. Oh, I said illiterate. They have 37% literacy. Flip a coin, I'm right. So
Man, I freaking love this man. I love this man.
point is that really, they all do agree with me. Everybody agrees with me on this. And if you're a guy from Afghanistan, you're watching, I don't know, I'm sure we've got a number of them. We've got a lot of people that watch the show. Listen, man, I'm not talking about you, but you know that there's some idiots in your country that are morons of talking about them. And by the way, we have those same third worldists. We have those same fucking retards in America. Being a third worlder and being a third worldist, yes, it's a geography, but it's more importantly a mindset. And these people have that mindset, and I don't want to have it. I don't want to deal with it. I think it's destructive, it's reductive, and I want to have nothing to do with it. So that's really the way that I feel about this, right? These people talk about the Epstein files. They have their own Epstein files. It's called the marriage records. It's
Oh my gosh. Ooh, what a burn. Ooh, that was a good one. He's right. He's right. He's absolutely right. Marriage records. Both awful. Obviously. Marriage records. Uh-oh. What's she going to say about that? What are you going to say about to counter this point?
called Tuesday. They have their own Epstein files. It's called the marriage records. It's called Tuesday. They have child marriage. It's legal. I don't want to have that here. I don't want to have anything to do with that here. Mm-hmm. So all that being said, I don't want to go through and talk about that too much. What am I going to do? And just very clearly, by the way, I was very surprised by this. I was very surprised by this suspension. I thought it was going to be for like 20 of the other things that I said, right? I mean, I thought it'd be for like, I don't want to give them any ideas because I did submit an appeal. I submitted an appeal and, I told them like, and the thing is that if they tell me you can't refer to third worlders in a derogatory context, I hate to say it, I don't take off my shoes whenever I walk in my own house. Somebody else asks me to walk in their house. They tell me to take off my shoes. I do it. I'm not in my own house. I will follow Twitch's terms of service begrudgingly, and you guys will know that I absolutely do not agree with it. Yeah. And these are my viewpoints, but I will follow the rules. And I have always taken a good faith effort to always follow the terms of service. If there's a dick that we show on stream, well, it must be that day of the week. And on top of that, they've complained to me about that too, by the way. And if I do that, I delete the VOD and I try to move past it and I apologize. I say, oops, guys, that's my bad. I didn't mean to do that. I don't actually ever intend to break the terms of service. Why would I ever do that? Why would I ever put myself in a position where I intentionally do something that I think would put my channel at risk?
Of course.
It's just stupid. Why would I ever do that? So the problem that I have with this is that I think that I've made it, and considering the content of my, like my stream, I cover extremely edgy content. I talk about things like, I talk about the most politically charged, most extreme issues on a daily basis in plain English, just, as a matter of fact. And really, I think that in order to do that and not have a million bad clips that have, been released about me, there's only 500,000. There's the reality that I do try a very good amount to try to control what I say,
Right.
to make sure that what I say does not break the terms of service.
Of
And I try to say what I say with a degree of, I guess.
To think that Piker doesn't need to do this, though. Can you imagine that for a moment? Because what he's doing is fair. I mean, terms of service, you can think they're bullshit, but, as he says, I'm stepping into someone else's home, meaning I'm using their platform. It's on my platform, so if I want to use the platform, I've got to follow the terms of service. Nobody cares about that. We hate the fact that he has to go through all of this, while Hassan Piker can say whatever he wants, which is 100 times worse and more hateful and more toxic and more dangerous than anything Asmongold has ever said. Yes, I mean that. You can clip it. Comparatively, not even close. Yet, Hassan Piker can say whatever he wants, doesn't get anything, nothing happens, he's fine, not a problem. Worst thing that can happen, he gets a one-day ban and gets maybe 3 days, maybe, when he has a day off, probably while the other guy sends him whatever opportunity for sponsorship. It's ridiculous. The other guy, I mean the CEO. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That guy doesn't need to say anything. That doesn't need to worry about what he's saying. And that's what we hate. That's what we complain about. Simply on the basis of, oh, well, the CEOs is on the same political persuasion as Piker.
Like I'm thinking about what I'm saying, right? I'm not just, going extemporaneously right off the cuff. I mean, to an extent I am, but I'm editing it in my mind to make sure that I don't say anything that would get me in trouble on Twitch. So when I said this, I didn't think I said anything wrong. And by reading the TOS, I don't think the TOS says that I said anything wrong. And the reality is that if you applied the reason why I got suspended to anybody applying this same type of language against Westerners, against Americans.
But they don't do that because it's oppressed oppressor. So if you're an oppressor in the mind of the left, radical left, then anything thrown at you is fine, even if it's 100 times worse. And you can say whatever you want. Not a big deal. It's okay because they deserve it. White people deserve it and all that. Christians deserve it. Conservatives deserve it. All of them, even the moderate and mild ones, and everyone, it doesn't matter. But then, but this is considered protected class. This is considered oppressed, so you cannot say even the mildest thing. Immediately there is a repercussion. This is not okay. This is not fair. And if you think it's fair, you need to get out, touch grass, find Jesus, repent, and figure out your life. I'm not saying you can't, by the way, before anyone changes this, I'm not saying you can't criticize or strongly oppose the radicals on the right. By all means, if someone is an extremist, if someone is toxic, if someone is hateful, actually hateful, do it as long as you apply it consistently. I don't have a problem with you. But if you think that this idea of double standards is the way to go, if you think that particularly when they are racial, religious, because again, you can't say anything about Muslims and Islam, oh, Islamophobic, but you can say whatever you want about Christians, and nobody ever says Christophobic. Come on. Why? Because oppressed oppressor. This oppressed oppressor is one of the worst things we have invented as a species, and it's one of the most unjust things that has ever happened in the history of mankind. We need to treat everybody the same. It's all about equality, not equity, not this DI nonsense. What's wrong with that? Okay, there is a white guy, a Christian, an atheist, a Muslim, a black guy, a Chinese, a Middle Eastern, all of these. How about we don't insult any of them? Or we can insult everyone equally as long as you don't do calls to violence. Both would be respectable as positions. I prefer the one that allows freedom of speech, of course. But what if? But when did it become okay instead to be like, oh no, you can say whatever you want, but only to this group and this group. The others, don't you dare, I'll send you to prison like they do in England. And you think that's justice. How much did they have to brainwash you to think that that's just and fair? If your mind is creating reasons for you, oh no, it's because of white supremacy, or it's because white people don't exist, or it's because it's not systemic. If you think that, if that's what happened, you need to disconnect, brother, because you got brainwashed, you're in a cult and you don't even know it.
against anybody in a developed country, you know that not only would it not be banned, it would probably be celebrated. So I think this is a massive double standard.
True.
It's completely unfair.
True.
I was unfairly targeted.
Yes.
I'm not sorry for any of it.
Good.
And I'll be waiting for Twitch's apology for unbanning me. And if it takes them a couple of days, that's fine. If it takes them an entire week, I guess I'll have to finish Crimson Desert. But the reality is that I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. I regret nothing. And
Good.
according to their own rules, I also did nothing wrong. So all this put into context, that's pretty much where things stand. That's where we're at. I'm not really stressed out about this. Honestly, I'm kind of excited. I feel like we've been in a little bit of a lull period, right? That's why I've been trying to do like, I'll do the ban appeals. I'll do like the Jesus game, right? And, all that. And I'll be honest, what really spurred me to make a comment about it last night is that I saw on Reddit, people thought that I got banned for showing a horse's dick on stream. And I was like, this is the stupidest narrative. I have to correct this because it's so ridiculous that I don't want people to believe this. People are also saying I got banned for playing the Jesus game. I don't know. Maybe that was the reason. Maybe there's an enlightened Reddit atheist.
Maybe it wasn't historically accurate and that they didn't make you wait for 3 days for the respawn time.
In the moderation team, but that's the reason they gave me. They said hateful conduct for 1 week. I put in my appeal. Hopefully I'll get it approved.
Okay.
I did nothing wrong. I apologize for nothing. I said nothing wrong. The clip has shown millions of people, not millions, many people say a lot of things that are a lot worse than what I say.
Yeah.
And nothing ever happens to them.
True.
And I think it was totally unfair that something happened to me.
Absolutely.
All that being said, I recognize if that's what Twitch doesn't want me to say, I won't say it. Just please explain the vocabulary I'm not supposed to use, and I won't use that vocabulary. I'll just think it. So anyway, thank you guys all very much for watching. I really appreciate everybody's support. I know a lot of you guys have been on Twitter and everything. You guys can share the video, let people know kind of
sure.
like where I'm coming from,
Here
what's
I am.
going on. But other than that, that's about all I've got, guys. So that's where things stand. That's where I'm at. I'm sorry that, I got suspended. Now it's like, okay, this is complicated. It might ruin some people's schedule. They're like, oh, where's Baldy, right? And, again, if something big happens, I will be back on and I'll stream on Kick or Rumble. But if things are just kind of the usual hysteria,
Why do they call him Baldy? I don't get it. He's got hair. He's got the long hair. Why the heck? Well, because he's a little bit. Maybe he doesn't have the hairline of a 15-year-old. Who cares? He's got. I don't understand why they. No, I don't know. Whatever.
News cycle. I think I'll probably just relax, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully Twitch will realize what they've done wrong and they will undo their mistake. So anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting me for all these years and for everything. And I'll see you all very soon. I'll talk to you later, guys. Peace.
Awesome. Yeah, no, he's right. And the problem, I think, with the terms of service with these platforms is that they make them purposely vague so that they can be applied, even though you can reason then your way around like you did logically and say, well, look, I did not break the terms of service. They use a vague language on purpose so they could say, technically, when we say this, we mean that. And then they can use a little bit of legalese on you to always allow themselves to be able to apply them unfairly, which is really what this is all about. Thank you for watching. Sorry to see this happen, Asmongold. Hopefully it'll be back soon in a couple of days. Thank you.